أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما صل على محمد وآل محمد ثم السلام على آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم الأجمعين إلى يوم الدين صلوات رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قد أفلح المؤمنون صدق الله العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So the ayah I've recited is what I started off yesterday with. The first ayah of Sura Al Mu'minun. Qad aflahal mu'minun. So a little bit of a recap. Qad, definitely, done deal. It's a given. There's no going. It's not future. There's nothing like that. It's already done. Aflaha, we talked about it. Successful. And I talked about Fallah as the farmer. So the mu'minun, and it's not ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, it's mu'minun, which means it's a noun. They are definitely successful. So our aim was to be able to be of those people who can say, I will go to Jannah. Want to come with me? That's basically what we want to do. So in Surah Al Mu'minun, we have this tick box, 13 qualities that we need to qualify for. Now, these papers are available on the desk. So the first thing to do with every surah is to look at that surah and see, what do I know about it? So first I know that surah number 23 is Surah Al Mu'minun. So I know it's something to do with believers. Immediately I know the meaning is there, right? Now if I look at Mu'minun, I need to know, in that surah, I need to know what is the key concept of that surah. So for all the 114, we need to know the key concept. Now you already know that in this surah, the moment somebody says mu'minun, I know there are 13 qualities, that is a done deal. As soon as I know these 13, I'm done. But it contrasts to those who rejected divine guidance. Okay? So this is the sort of thing that we need to know for each surah. Now it's got 118 ayat, as you will see on your papers. It's divided into 6 sections. But right now we're worried about the 13 qualities. We've got 5 days to do this in. So we look at the first quality, which if you open your leaflets, and if you've got them, we've listed the 13 qualities inside the middle, right? So let's just look at the first quality. So the first quality says, الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِئُونَ. They are those whom, especially in their salah, they have khushu. Khushu is a difficult word. It's not a pill. It's not something that you switch on and off. Namaz par ajasu to khushu hai. La la la. It is a behavior, and it takes time. And in this surah, if you know the Arabic language, Arabic teachers will tell you, it doesn't say that it is khushu in their salah. It says, especially in their salah, they are constant with their khushu. Now let's look at what the Arabic language tells you about what khushu means, because we need to tick this box, right? Really important to do so. So the first one that khushu means is when you are in awe of something so much that it freezes you. You know, you sort of go, like that. And it freezes you so much that you can't even speak. Have you ever stuttered when you're in front of somebody who says, oh, I can't say much, right? And although you like that person very much, you love them very much, it's hard because you get stuck. You don't know what to say. That is khushu. Khushu means you actually freeze. It is attentive humility. It means that the hair on your hands stand up. Don't have hair because it's waxed, right? But if you did have hair anyway, it would stand up. Not in fear as in negative fear, but in awe. You look at that person and you think, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. So that's the sort of khushu. It means lowering your eyes in humility. And we're told in fiqh, no? When you're praying, look down. And you have to stand in humility. It's actually encouraging us to do khushu. Like I said, it's not a pill. It's not something that comes. It comes, you have to develop it within yourself. If I go to the gym and I say, today I'm going to run, forget about the gym. Have you seen this NHS app? It's called Couch to 5 kilometers. I think Fatima was telling me about it. Couch to 10 kilometers, something like that. If you just said, today I'm going to run 10 kilometers, you're not going to. It tells you slowly, start walking. You're all smiling, aren't you? Start walking, and then running, and then walking, and then the whole lot. You have to train yourself. So khushu is training. 17 places in the Quran, khushu. I'm not going to go into each one, but you know this one. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Ask help with sabr and salah. وَإِنَّهَا لَقَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. It's a big thing, except for those who have khushu. Now it goes on. I'm not going to go through the 17 ayat. I can send them to you later on. He says, who are these people who have khushu? الَّذِينَ يَظُنُّونَ أَنَّهُمْ مُلَاقُو رَبِّهِمْ. They are those who know that they have met their Rabb. That means when they're standing for salah, they're absolutely sure they are with their Rabb. Throughout their life, they know they're with their Rabb. It's not past tense. It's a noun, mulaqu rabbihim. Now, in Hadith al-Qudsi says, the heavens and the earth cannot contain me, but the heart of a mu'min can contain me. That's what he says. They've met it. And then it goes on to say, وَأَنَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. That is past tense, or rather future tense. They will inshallah meet him. So it tells me my first thing is to know that in all circumstances, my Rabb is with me. He's not anywhere else. And I'll try and go a little bit further to see how it goes. If you want to see khushu, have you seen the videos of the Arba'in walk? Oh my goodness. That's the 104-year-old who begs people that he wants to serve them. There's the person who doesn't have anything. You must have seen them. I'm just repeating what I see. There's the person who says, I don't have anything. But he kept on walking behind this person. And this guy said, why are you walking behind me? Why are you following me? And he said, so I can shade you from the sun, because I don't have any money to serve you. And then you see these tiny little children who say, please take a tissue. Please take some water. It's amazing. It reminds me of Marhum Askar, because his daughter is sitting here and we learned so much from her. So I remember when I went up to him and I said, Mullah, these people, they're Muharram people. They only come in Muharram. They only come in Ashra. And I said, they only come at food time. And I said, I don't understand. And he said, Agar konu che? I said, Allah no. He said, no, Masjid Allah ni che. Agar konu che? Hussein no. Aya kon bolawe che? Sayyida. Tame bolawo cho na. I tamne kida ke mane wando che loka morawe, ke belawe, ke jare panawe. Did she ever tell you that they should only take one tabarruk? That they should sit here? Sorry, I'm sorry to the volunteers. I know you do this for everything. But this is what Mullah taught me. And he taught me that this is not yours or mine. It is Sayyida's, is it not? It is Imam Hussein's. Whatever they do, wherever they come. Have you been to the Haram in Karbala? There are people doing azadar in all different ways. There's the Tanzanians doing saf. There's the Pakistanis doing some different sort of matam. There's the Iranis doing, and nobody says anything, because this is not your house or my house. It belongs to Sayyid Shahada, and the invitation is given by Sayyida Fatimatus Zahra. That is khushu. To be able to tolerate, to be able to be generous, to be able to give. And it goes on in salah. It shows that humility shows in salah. When somebody walks in, it is manners to just move, even if they don't come and sit near you. It doesn't matter. The other is not the things that Imam Sadiq has taught us. Do you know, if somebody came and sat near you while you were praying, and you might have this long prayer, but if they came and sat near you, you have to hurry your prayer to find out what they wanted. That's how it works. That's what khushu is. Anyway, I got distracted. When I go into salah, the first thing I see when I stand up is that sajda, no? Don't I not see a sajda? Should it not remind me of the sajda of Imam Hussein? Because we're told that it's mustahab to have this with the earth of Karbala, is it not? Why did Imam Hussein ask for one night's respite? He says to Hazrat Abbas, tell them, tomorrow, I need one night's respite. And he gives the answer, he gives a reason. He said, Ana uhibbu salah, I love salah. Wa tilawati kitabihi, and I love to read his book. Wa kathratu du'a wal istighfar, and I love lots of dua, and I love istighfar. All these are contained in salah. So if I want khushu in salah, when I look at that more, I think, yep, that's what I'm going to do. He asked for one night's respite. I'm getting time to pray. And I'm going to love what I am going to do this. Another thing to try and instill salah, again, I've taken this from our hadith. Know that you are watched. Have you seen social media? Have you seen people taking selfies? They take 10 selfies and then they post the one that is really good, the good angle. And then forget about that. So, look, I'm sorry, I do this as well, okay? So not only the good angle, but then they Photoshop it. And then you look at the person and you look at the thing on social media and say, are you sure you're the same person? How be different, right? Here we are watched constantly, 24/7. It's a wonderful dua by Imam Hussein. I'm going to relate to him all the time. When Imam has al-yaskar in his hands, it's a father, no? A father with a child, a 6-month-old child, who has been slaughtered with a 3-pronged arrow. He's a father. I'm not going to say the whole dua in Arabic, but basically he says, Ya Allah, I would have collapsed. I would not have survived this. The only reason I survive is because I know you are watching. You are al-Basir. You are watching. He is with us all the time. Whether we're playing salah or not, whether we're looking or not looking, he is there. In salah in particular, to know that there's a camera put on you. I sit here, I know how it feels. Every word is analyzed. Oh God, you said this, you said that. In fact, if there's no video at the moment, but when there is a video, they tell you your scarf is not ironed. And I tell them, but I don't have a wife. So everything is scrutinized. So imagine when you're standing in salah. Just imagine. You looked at everything. That khushu has to come into there. Okay, I'm just giving bits and pieces so you might maybe understand. When you go into sajda, remember death. Did not Imam Ali say the ayah of Surah Al-Taha? He said when you go into sajda, the ayah, it's ayah 55 by the way, Surah Al-Taha, he says, مِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. When you go into sajda, it's like you're dying. When you come back again, yes? No, I've got it wrong, haven't I? When you go into sajda and you come back, you're actually coming back to life. And your whole life is astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Then you go back into the earth when you die, and then when you come back again, you are being resurrected. So can you imagine that thought process in my salah? This may be my last salah. I may not get another salah. I may not. So make it as though it's your last salah. You don't have to do the long version. Nobody said that. I know when they taught you and me, I know when I was taught, I was never told something was mustahab or something was wajib. Everything was wajib. I didn't know that lots of things were mustahab. My grandma used to say, just one takbir, astaghfirullah. 7 takbirs. And I thought 7 takbirs were wajib until I came here and I learned, oh, only 1. But you know why 7? Oh, I got to tell you, no? So Imam Hussein was a late speaker. He couldn't speak early. To verbalize stuff was difficult. And he used to go with the Prophet everywhere. And the Prophet used to stand him near him when he used to pray salah, which you're supposed to do with your children and grandchildren. So standing there. And the first time when the Prophet said Allahu Akbar, he said Allahu Akbar. And the Prophet said it again and again and again, because the joy of listening to a child saying something when they weren't saying it before, it's just amazing. If you know that children come up to you and say, their mothers will say, Ummi auntie say, Jahinike, Ya Allah, Ya Muhammad, Ya Ali. Have you not heard that? And the child goes, twinkle, twinkle. It's beautiful, right? So it's when a child speaks. It's really amazing. So 7 takbirs are mustahab. 6 are mustahab, 1 is wajib. Anyway, so we thought everything was wajib. If you find it tedious, just do the wajibat. I say this many times and I repeat it. My mama was never ill. I don't ever remember her taking a paracetamol. When she got cancer, it was difficult. This was a mother who read nafila, who read du'as, who read shab, who fasted 3 months in a year. That was my mama. But when she fell ill with cancer, she would say, Natuti, I can't do it. Show me what I can do, which is the minimum. So if you find it tedious, just do the minimum, but do it with khushu. Do it with khushu. The next thing to instill khushu is to see our flaws. We all have flaws. You know when we stand up and we say, Allahu Akbar, there is a dua by Imam Zaynul Abidin. Ya muhsinu kad atakal musir. Oh, the one who does ihsan in front of you is the one covered from top to toe with sins. فَتَجَاوَزْ عَنْ قَبِيهِ مَا عِنْدِي بِجَمِيلِ مَا عِنْدَكَ يَا كَرِيمٌ. Change what is bad in me, what is evil in me, with what is good in you. Don't know it in Arabic, think of it in English, think of it in Gujarati, in Kutchi, whatever you want. But say it to yourself. I'm standing here, and we're told when you go into ruku, it's really good, because the sins that are on your shoulders fall off. When you go into sajda, they're all gone. The only thing that doesn't go is haqqun nas. And that's easy. Just call the people you think you've hurt and say, Astaghfirullah, Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. I'm so sorry. Really, really sorry. Please forgive me, and if you want anything, I'll give it to you. Number 5. This is something that we'd love to go to salah for. Forget about everything else, but it's the kunut. I wait for the kunut. It's like somebody saying, I don't know, when you order online, right? It's like putting that order in. That's kunut. Dua means to call. Dua is not talab. Talab means to ask. But kunut, make a list of everything. Duas are answered. Ad'uni astajib lakum. Call me and I will answer you. Now, the Maraji differ. Sayyid Sistani says you should have one dua in Arabic, a Quranic dua, and then ask in your own language. Sayyid Khamenei says, no, you can ask in your own language. Now, I am a Khoja. I love it. Absolutely love being a Khoja. But I was taught that in Qunut you say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar, Allahu Akbar, and then bas khalas. Prolong your Qunut. 6 Imam was asked, long sajda or long Qunut? He said, long Qunut. Ask, no? Sit there, any language, talk to him. Just talk to him in that Qunut. Get lost in yourself. And hands together. Again, I'm a Khoja, sorry. I was taught to do Qunut like this, Maruj. Go like this, no? Let the Rahmah pour and look in the middle of your hands. Have a long Qunut. Do it. That's what it's all about. There's a wonderful bit that I love in Ziyarah Ashura. I'm sure you read Ziyarah Ashura besides the day, right? Allahumma jalni mahyaya mahya Muhammadi wa ali Muhammad wa mamati mamata Muhammadi wa ali. Put it in your Qunut. Ya Allah, give me the life of Sayyid al-Shahada, the death of Sayyid al-Shahada. This is what we ask for. We have a phenomenal index of du'as. Now, when we looked at these 13 tick boxes, you can look at your papers if you want. I'm going to do 2 together today, and this one is ayah 9. Okay, so ayah 9 is number 6. So the first one we did was khushu. Ayah 9 was وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. Not only do they have khushu, but they protect their salah. So we're going to do these 2 together today. That's number 1 and number 6. It's ayah number 2 and ayah number 9. So these are 2 tick boxes we can do. So khushu, inshallah, we can develop. Now, let's just look at this. They protect their salahs. First of all, it is a heart set or heart change, if I can call it, or a mind change. We just got to think a little bit differently. When we came to this country, things were before breakfast or after breakfast, before lunch or after lunch, before dinner, or I'll change it. Before salah and after salah. Just a little bit of a change. This is what you and I would do. That's what we need to do. So at workshop on a Saturday, the first thing I do in assembly is ask the children, what is the time of salah today? And they know Fajr, because Fajr is 3. In fact, in Ramadan, my goodness, they know it by the second. It's funny, isn't it? Ramadan, exactly by the second. They will say 3:55 and 2 seconds. And they will know when they stop eating, 10 minutes before. Well, 10 minutes before. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So we then have Zohar, which is 10 past 1 today, I think. But when I say, when is Asr, they say, I don't know. Why don't you know? Does it stop you from being a Shia if you prayed Asr separately? It doesn't. Astaghfirullah, she's talking about Asr. I'm not. It was made easy for us to pray Zahar and Asr together, Maghrib and Isha together. But if we have the time, then we know Asr is 2:35, and extra time to raise our hands in dua. Is it not? All right, time for Maghrib today. Am I testing you? 10 past 8, right? 8:28? Okay, see, I needed to say this so you could correct me. Okay. Are you sure? Okay, go to the Hujjat app. Okay. Oh, you look at sunset and sunrise. It doesn't matter. See, the conversation is good because you're debating. What about Isha? 11 past 9? 12 past 9? Okay. See, we know it. But to have these on either you put them on a clock or you have adhan being recited. The only problem with having adhan, I say problem, because there's so many good things, and I'm told it's a problem. So the only problem with having adhan recited loudly in the house is that you'll never be lonely. You'll always get muggin in your house. Isn't that amazing? Because you're told one who has adhan being recited every day in their house will always have a house full of people. So if you want a house full of people, put the adhan on. It's just, and then you get told by people, but you know what? I go to work. I'm so busy at Zohar and I'm so busy at Asr. Fajr I pray, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Maghrib I pray if it's not summer. But Zohar and Asr, no, we can't. So I just have one question to ask. My question, forgive me. If you had to go to the toilet at exactly at that time, wouldn't you go? Or would you say, you know what, let me just wet myself and soil myself because I'm so busy? I'm asking. It's a question. Because if we want to go to the bathroom, come rain or snow, come busy or meeting, come anything, we will go out and we will go to the bathroom. And if that bathroom visit took more than a little bit more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes, we will still stay there, will we not? So how difficult is it that at namaz time to come out and to pray? Now, it's a practicality we've got to instill into our lives. I have a phenomenal daughter-in-law, as you all might be having as well. And the phenomenality about her is that she has 4 children, 4 very young children, 6, 4, and twins that are 1.5 years old. But I watch her and I learn from her. It doesn't matter whether it's rain or snow, whether we are eating or whatever is happening at home. Come namaz time, she will go out on the deck and she will pray. And because she does that, everybody else does that. Yet it is this daughter-in-law, when she got married to my son, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. When she got married to my son, she said, Mama, I am not a Sunni and I'm not a Shia. I am a Muslim. So when she came to the mosque here one day, I brought her for the first time. She was asked to come out of Salatul Jama'ah because she put her hands up here. So she was told, you are losing our connection. I'm just telling you what we did. She said, Mama, this is what they told me to do. Who gives us the right to be judge and jury? One judge, position taken. When it's empty, we will all apply. Okay? She taught us how to pray on time. I'm just telling you bits and pieces. Okay, so now I know my namaz time. What do I do? This is to protect my namaz time. Again, I go back to my childhood. I was raised in a house where just before namaz time, this house that was so busy went quiet. You could hear my grandmother's, I think you call them sapatias. I was looking it up today, and it's called paduka. You know, there are these wooden things to wear. The Japanese call them geta. If you've got foot problems, wear it. They're made out of wood, geta, G-E-T-A. You put them on, chakri, that's right. So these chakris, you could hear my grandmother go to the bathroom, and my grandmother doing wudu, and coming back, and the house went absolutely quiet. Nobody dared even move a glass or a plate, because it was time of salah. And you didn't have a choice, because nothing happened. You had to go and pray. Well, one particular day, I didn't. I was 5 years old. I've said this, but I'm going to repeat it so you get it back in your head. I was 5 years old, and the book I was reading was by Enid Blyton. And it was such a beautiful book, and it was the end, and it was so lovely. And I thought, I could read this, and I could pray after food. I mean, namaz doesn't get qaza, does it? I mean, Zohar and Asr, it takes a long time to get qaza. So I sat in my bedroom, but I was clever because I was taught this as well. I made sure, did you have a musalla that hangs behind the door, the straw one, do you remember? I took it out, I put it down, I messed the chadar up a bit, because my mama used to fold it, closed it a bit, sat down on my bed, and I finished Enid Blyton. And when I went down for lunch, my Baba said, have you prayed? I didn't answer, because you would, at a child, it's very difficult to lie. Adult come easy, child doesn't. The next day, my Baba bought me 2 angel wing brooches. I still have them. He pinned one on my left shoulder and one on my right. He said, there are 2 angels always sitting on your shoulder. The left one writes all the naughty things, and the right one writes all the good things. Don't worry about the right one, just let it go. But the left one talked to him all the time. I didn't know my Baba was watching. It was many, many years later after he died, and when I went to see my mama one day, and I was wearing these brooches, and I said, do you remember Mama, Papa? He said, do you know why she gave them? He gave them to you. I said, no. He said, because he saw you reading Enid Blyton. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me off. He just bought me brooches. So important, salah. This is khushu. This is how you do hifazat of salah, okay? The Prophet's companions, pre-adhan, there used to be an adhan. They stopped everything. If you've been to an Islamic country, you will find that you can't do any trading at salah time. Everything is closed. This is what they did. And look how the Prophet made the Medina. Medina was built, so the mosque was in the center. All the shops were around the mosque. So as you came to the mosque, you did trading. As you went out, you did trading. The graveyards were near there. So as you came, you read Surah Al Fatiha. There's a lot of sense put into this. Read the morphology of Medina, and you'll see how the Prophet made Medina. Okay? So when they came to the mosque, they came early, they sat down, they prayed their nafilah. That is one way of doing hifazat. Okay, 2 rakats before Fajr, 8 rakats before Zohar, 8 rakats before Asr, 4 rakats after Maghrib, 2 rakats sitting down after Isha. Okay, you can't do all of them. Doesn't matter. You can do 2 rakats sitting down after Isha, no? You can do 2 before Fajr. Maybe inshallah one day 8, 8 and 4 will come, but it will come. But this is one way of preserving it. It is really, really important. Nafilah does that. But if you cannot even recite Nafilah, at least Salatul Layl to preserve your Salah. Now I know you say, oh, Salatul Layl, Hamna Kidi 3:55. Oh, that means I have to wake up at 3:50. It doesn't matter. You want to read it after Isha? Read it after Isha. You don't want to do all 11? Don't. Just one. Salatul Witr. Just one. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, okay. You don't want to do it on your musalla? Don't. It's a mustahab salah, no? You do wudu before you go to sleep anyway, right? Okay, you don't. You will now, okay? I say you go into your bed. You don't want to go on the musalla? It's okay. One day you will. You go into your bed, and you're reciting 1 rakat of witr. Allahu Akbar, Surah Al Fatiha, Surah Al Ikhlas 3 times, Falak and Nas. You can't do Ikhlas 3 times, do it once. It doesn't matter. And then there's a qunut with 7 things. Is there not? La ilaha illallahul. I'm waiting so you can tell me, right? Halimul Kareem. La ilaha illallahul aliyul azim. Subhanallah rabbi samawati sabi. You will know it. Rabbil ardina sabi wa ma fihinna wa ma baynahunna wa ma fawkahunna wa وما تحتهن رب العرش العظيم وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. You don't know that? Just say La ilaha illallah and you have 4 Asmaaul Husna. Did you not? We had Halim, Kareem, Ali and Azim. And then 70 times Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu. You can't say it 70 times, all right? 7 times Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu. It really doesn't matter. And then you have this long list. Allahumma gfirli. Okay, you don't want to do that. Allahumma gfirli al-mu'minina wal-mu'minat. If you're sitting here, wherever you're sitting, Ya Allah, forgive all these people. It's amazing, isn't it? My mama used to say, I said, Mama, why you take so long in Shab? And she used to say, I go continent by continent. Africa ma, pachi Asia. Come Mama, kitla jana. I just used to take time. I say continent by continent. There's a new way. I didn't know that. I would go family by family. Mama was different, okay? And then astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum li jami'i dhulmi wa jurmi wa israfi ala nafsi. Again, just ask for forgiveness. And then you say, Hada makamu aidhu bikaminan. Now, this is the place, and you and I are taught this. This is the place that will save me from the fire. The fire will not touch you if you read Salatul Layl. 40 days required. Change takes 40 days. Okay, now when you finish that, then there's this beautiful name of Allah, number 83. 300 times. Okay, 3 times. Al-Afu. You know what Al-Afu means? We'll do it in Gujarati. It means to rub out. Incidentally, every time I get feedback from a Majlis, this is very different. Yesterday I was told, normally I get told, can you translate the English into Gujarati? I mean, I would normally tell me that, okay. But yesterday was, can you translate the Gujarati into English? I said, oh my goodness, that's different. Okay, so Al-Afu, one who rubs out, erases, obliterates. I would say it as many times as possible, right? And then you end this with Rabbi gfirli warhamni wa tub alayya innaka anta tawwabur rahim. You can't do that. Just astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Ruku and sajda. And then if you're really, you really get into this mode, then at least try to read Dua al-Hazin. It is so beautiful. Unajika ya mawjudan fi kulli makan la'allaka tasma'u nidai. I want to share a secret with you. Or you who is present everywhere. Kad adhuma jurmi wa qalla hayai. My sins are so many, my shame is so little. You don't know the Arabic, it's okay. Little bit in English. Just think of it. One day we will read it. One day we will read it. So these are in essence a basis of how we're going to protect our salah, how we're going to bring khushu into our salah. Imam Hassan Askari gives 10 signs of a woman. I'll do 5. He says they pray 51 rakats of salah. It is all in line with these 13. He says they do sajda on kake shafa. He says that they wear the rings that are important to them on their right hand. We'll talk about that at some point. In salah, they say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim loudly. And you know what the 5th one is? They recite Ziyara Arba'in. That's what he says. Now, he didn't say they only recite Ziyara Arba'in on Arba'in. So there must be something in Ziyara Arba'in that Imam relates to as part of being a mu'min. Inshallah, if we get time, we will go into that and we will learn on this journey together. Now, some of you, and when I say feedback, I will only say it if it's more than 5 people. The feedback I get is that those of you who don't understand Gujarati would like to learn about the journey of Imam Hussain alayhi salam from Karbala to Kufa to Sham, right? You wanted to learn about the journey. Inshallah, we'll go into, I'm not sure whether I've got time today, but maybe I'll take 2 or 3 minutes just to go over the journey in English, okay? I'm going to look at the journey between Kufa and Sham very quickly. That was 600 miles. 600 miles. Now, if you can imagine, Ibn Ziyad in Kufa wanted to get rid of these very quickly. He didn't want them there because after the sermons, people's thinking changed. So he wanted to send them to Yazid. Your problem, you can have them. Okay? So 600 miles, they have to go. There's an escort, and in front of them are the head of the martyrs. Okay. Many children fell. We'll talk about it in Gujarati in a little while. But there were many places, and I'll give you one place. The first stop when they put the head of Imam Hussein on a platter and the soldiers of Ibn Ziyad were drinking wine, you know, you don't have to go far. Go to social media, see what's happening today in the world. They were drinking wine. On the wall, there was a message which says, "Atarju ummatan katalat Husayna shafa'atan jaddiha yawm al-hisab." Do the people who killed Hussein think that they will get the shafa'ah of Muhammad? It appeared on the wall. But the sign was on the wall, but it didn't affect them. It didn't bother them at all. At Tikrit, the ruler asked, "Who is this?" And the soldier says, "Oh, it's some foreigner. There's somebody, you know, who has gone against the rulers, and that's why he's killed." There was a Christian man who said, "This is Hussein ibn Ali. This is the son of Fatima." They were chased out. Many towns, they were chased out. There is a place called Mashhad al-Nuqta. Maybe you can go and visit it. In Mashhad al-Nuqta, there was a drop of blood that fell from the head of Imam Hussein. Even today, on the day of Ashura, there's a monument. It's called Nuqta. Please look it up. At that particular place, every Ashura, a drop of blood falls. They saw these miracles, but it didn't affect them. We say that today. Don't they see the oppressors? Don't they see what they're doing? What's happening to the world today? Then there's Wadi al-Nakhla. The soldiers say, "We heard the jinns lament." Mosul, Raqqa, Da'nat, I go to all those. But Halab, you've all heard of Halab, right? Halab is in Syria. There is a range of mountains. It's called Jabal al-Jushan. There was a mine there. And copper was extracted from that mine. And in that mine, when copper was extracted, it was sent all over the world. The mine collapsed. I'll tell you why. Because there was one woman from the prisoners who was carrying a child. And her child got lost. She tried to look for her child. She got hungry and thirsty. She asked the soldiers for bread and water. They refused. So she raised her hands and she cursed them. Today, this mine is closed. But there is a monument. There's a masjid called Masjid al-Daqqa where this child who was lost got killed. Do you not hear of Hind who was killed? Do you not hear of Jumana and her twins that were killed? Do you not hear of them? This is the same thing. This is what we're looking at. But this was the progeny of the Prophet. And they didn't see it. At a place called Kinasrin, you had a monk who was in his house and he sees this light. And he goes up to this place and he sees the light coming from the head of Imam Hussein. He tells the soldiers, "I'll give you whatever amount you ask for. Just give me this head." So they ask for a ludicrous amount. He gives everything he has. You and I asked just to come and sit on a farsh. He takes the head to his house. And he says, "I ask you in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of Prophet Isa, tell me who you are." And he says, "Ana ibn Muhammadan al-Mustafa, ana ibn Ali al-Murtada, ana ibn Fatimah al-Zahra, ana maqtoolu bi Karbala." I am the son of Muhammad al-Mustafa, Ali al-Murtada, Fatimah al-Zahra. I was killed in Karbala. And the monk says, I put my head to his face and I said, "I will not move until you promise to be my shafa'a on the day of judgment." And the head tells him, "Follow Muhammad. Follow the religion of Muhammad." And he says, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah." You and I are told, sit on this verse. One tear, one, even the size of the wing of a fly, it will completely quench the fire of Jahannam. I'm just telling you what happened. Baalbek. You know, Baalbek, there are so many incidents that happened. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about Damascus. So can we have a salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraja. તો આપણે ગઈકાલ અસ્માઉલ હુસ્ના જોતા હતા ને આપણે જોયા રહમાન, રહીમ, રાઉફ ને મુકીત. તમને નંબર બી યાદ છે ને? રહમાન નંબર 1, રહીમ નંબર 2, રાઉફ 82 ને મુકીત 39. જો ખબર આપણે ઓકે. તો આજે આપણે જોશું, ઘણા ફેરો પરું છે જતના તમને કીધી કે જ્યારે તે આશુરામાં તમે જે ટ્યુઝડે ના આવો છો તમે આ સાંભળ્યા છો કે इसमें આદમ અલ્લાહનું જાન હોય તો યા હય્યુ યા કય્યુમ 62 and 63. ઇમામ અલી કહે છે કે જંગે બદરમાં અમે 313 જણા હતા, સામે હજારો હતા, કોઈ 10,000 જેટલા બી હજારો હતા. 313 ને હજારો. 313 પાસે બહુ ઓછી વસ્તુ હતી હજારો પાસે ફૂલી ઇક્વિપ્ડ આર્મી, આખા પાસે કાંઈ નહોતું. તો ઇમામ અલી નકલ કરે છે કે હું જોઉં કે જ્યારે રસૂલને ટાઈમ હોય ત્યારે એ નમાઝ પઢે છે, ત્યારે એ દુઆ કરે છે. તો કે હું બાજુમાં જઈને જોતો હતો કે આ શું પઢે છે રસૂલુલ્લાહ. તો રસૂલુલ્લાહ શું પડતા હતા? યા હૈયુ યા કય્યુમ, યા હૈયુ યા કય્યુમ બિરહમતિકા અસ્તગીથુ, યા હૈયુ યા કય્યુમ બિરહમતિકા અસ્તગીથુ. ઇસ્તિગાથા એટલે શું? એટલે જ્યારે હું અલ્લાહને કહું છું મારા પાસે કાંઈ નથી, મને ખબર નથી કે હું ક્યાં જાઉં, ત્યારે અમે ઇસ્તિગાથા એને દિલમાંથી દુઆ નીકળે છે. યા હૈયુ યા કય્યુમ. નબી મૂસા જ્યારે રેડ સી અને દરિયા પાસે પહોંચે છે, સાથે બની ઇસરાઈલ છે, પાછળ ફિરഔન છે. સૂરા નંબર 26, સૂરતુલ શુઆરા, આયત નંબર 61. તો બની ઇસરાઈલ કહે છે ઇન્ના લમુદ્રિકૂન, બસ ખલાસ હવે, કારણ કે આગળ તો દરિયો છે ને પાછળ ફિરૌન છે, ખલાસ અમે. મૂસા શું કહે છે? આયત 62, કલ્લા ઇન્ન માયા રબ્બી સયહદીન. ના આપણા સાથે આપણો રબ છે, એ આપણે દેખાડશે એક રસ્તો. તને શું કહે છે મૂસાને? જિબ્રાઈલ આવે છે, કે છે એ મૂસા, આ તારી અસા છે ને, તો આ દરિયાને માર ને તું કે યા અલ્લાહ યા હૈયુ યા કય્યુમ, યા અલ્લાહ યા હૈયુ યા કય્યુમ. એક રસ્તો નહીં, 12 રસ્તા. કારણ કે ખોજા હતા, ઈરાની હતા, ઈરાકી હતા, ગુજરાતી હતા, બધા જુદા જુદા હતા. એક રસ્તો નહીં, 12 રસ્તા. કારણ કે ખબર હતી બાદ છે એક રસ્તામાં જશે તો એકને જવા નહીં દે, બીજાને જવા નહીં દે, બધા જુદા જુદા હતા. તો મને ખપતું હોય કે 12 રસ્તા, મને ખપતું હોય જુદું જુદું રસ્તા. યા અલ્લાહ યા હૈયુ યા કહેવાય ઇસ્મે આઝમ છે. ઓકે, આપણે હમણાં પહેલાં નમાઝે શબ્દ ઇંગ્લિશમાં જરાક વાત કરીએ એના માટે. તો આજે એક વસ્તુ લઈશ, પછી કાલે ઇન્શાલ્લાહ ઇસ્તિગફાર ઉપર વધારે પડશે. પણ એક આપણે પડે છે 300 ફેરે અલ આફ, પડે છે ને અલ આફ. અલ આફુ અલ્લાહનું નામ છે, ઇટ ઇઝ નંબર 83. તો એક સ્ટોરીથી મેં વધારે યાદ કરશું. તો એક ટીચર હતો, ઝયીફ થઈ ગયો હતો, રિટાયર થઈ ગયો હતો. તો એનો સ્ટુડન્ટ હતો, એને જોઈ છે છેટેથી, ખબર નહીં મસ્જિદમાં જોયો હશે કે ચર્ચમાં જોયો હશે, જ્યાં જોયો હોય. તો એ જોઈ છે ને ત્યાં પાસે જાય છે, એને કહે છે તારા થકી હું ટીચર થયો. તો કે અલ્હમ્દુલિલ્લાહ. તો એ કહે છે કે કારણ કે તું જે મારા ઉપર અહેસાન કર્યો છો એ કોઈ મારા ઉપર એવો અહેસાન નથી કર્યો. તો કે હું તો બધાને સરખી રીતના રાખ્યો. કાં? એ કે ના, એ કે જ્યારે હું નાનો હતો ત્યારે હું કોઈની ઘડિયાળ ચોરી કર્યો. આ છોકરો કહે છે કે હું આ ઘડિયાળ ચોરી કર્યો ને હું મારા ખિસ્સામાં નાખ્યો. તો જેની ઘડિયાળ હું લઈ લીધો એ આવીને મને તને કહે છે કે કોઈ અહીંયાથી મારી ઘડિયાળ લઈ લીધો છે. તો એ કે તું અમે બધાને કીધો કે તમે ભીત પાસે ઊભા રહ્યો ને હું બધાના પોકેટ્સ ચેક કરીશ. તો એ કે તું બધાના પોકેટ્સ ચેક કર્યો, મારા પોકેટમાંથી ઘડિયાળ નીકળી, પણ તું કાંઈ ના બોલ્યો. તું બધાને તું ઘડિયાળ પાછી દઈ દીધો, તું બધાને કીધો ઇસ્તિગફાર કરવા, પણ તું કાંઈ ના કીધો. હું હંમેશ ખબરતો હતો કે એક દિવસ તું મારું નામ લઈશ, પણ તું મારું નામ ન લીધું. તું અલ્લાહનું જે સતારલ ઉયુબ છે, તું એવી રીતના છો. તો એના થકી હું ટીચર થયો. તો ઓલું ઝયીફ કે છે હું જ્યારે જોતો હતો ને બધાના ખિસ્સામાં, તો આંખ બંધ કરીને જોતો હતો, મને ખબર નથી કોના ખિસ્સામાં. તો જ્યારે અમે આફ પડે છે ત્યારે અમે યાદ કરે કે ખુદા અમને કહે છે હું સાવ રેકોર્ડ્સમાંથી કાઢી નાખીશ, બધું કાઢી નાખીશ, એબ્સોલ્યુટલી એવરીથિંગ. તો નમાઝે શબાઈ ન પડી શકે, કોઈ બી પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય ના થાય, જે બી થતું એટલીસ્ટ કાંઈ નહીં તો શું પહેલાં અલ આફ, એક ફેરે નહીં, 3 ફેરે, ઓકે 300 ફેરે નહીં, 30 ફેરે નહીં, આઈ એમ ટ્રાઇંગ ટુ ગો ડાઉન, એક ફેરે અલ આફ. ઇટ્સ રિયલી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ. એમ કહીશ એક બીજી સ્ટોરી. જ્યારે પહેલાં મોબાઈલ ફોન્સ નીકળ્યા, તમે જોયા છો મોબાઈલ ફોન્સ કેવા હતા? જરાક ભારે હતા, જરાક મોટા હતા. two minutes. સો મોબાઈલ ફોન મારા દીકરાને લઈ દીધી. હું એમ કીધી સ્કૂલમાં નહીં લઈ જાજે તું, ડોન્ટ ટેક ઇટ ટુ સ્કૂલ. પણ યુ નો વોટ હી ડીડ? એ સ્કૂલમાં લઈ ગયો ને ઘરે પાછી આવ્યો, કહું મમ્મા ફોન કોઈ ચોરી ગયું મારું. એમ કીધું ઓકે આજથી બધા થામ તું ધોઈશ, ડિશવોશરમાં નાખીશ, જે પણ તું હૂવર કરીશ બધું તું કરીશ, બિચારો બધું કર્યું. 7 વર્ષ પછી 8 વર્ષ પછી આમાં ઘરમાં એક કાગળ આવે છે, એક કાર્ડ આવે છે. એ કાર્ડમાં આટલા બધા પૈસા છે. એમાં લખેલું છે કે આઈ વોઝ ધ વન હુ સ્ટોલ ધીસ ફોન. આઈ વોઝ ધ વન હુ સ્ટોલ ઇટ. બટ જાબેર, આઈ એમ જસ્ટ ટેલિંગ યુ ધીસ, જે પૈસા તને મોકલાવું છું એ તારો ફોન બી લેશે, પણ હું તને એ પણ કહું છું કે હું ફિલિસ્તીનમાં આટલા બધા ઓલિવ ટ્રીઝ તારા માટે ઉગાડ્યો છું. તું મને માફ કરી દે. તું જાણતો નથી હું કોણ છું, પણ તું મને માફ કરી દે. હું હજી સુધી આ કાર્ડને જોઉં તો મને થાય, જો ઇન્સાનને માફી માંગવું હોય તો આવી રીતના મેં માફી માંગી. એટલું બધું રિસ્પેક્ટ આ માણસનું દિલમાં આવી ગયું. ભલે કોઈ ચોરી કર્યું હોય, પણ નહીં, એ અમને શીખાયું કે ઇન્સાન માફી કેવી રીતના માંગે. પણ કરબલામાં કોઈ એવા નહોતા. જે ઝાલિમ હતા એ લોકોને આવડતું નહોતું કે માફી માંગવાનું કઈ વસ્તુ છે. અલકામાં રામ પણ નહોતું. આપણે આજકાલ જોઈ છે, આપણે દેખાય છે આપણા આંખના સામે કે રહમ નથી. તો હું વાત કરતી હતી આ સફરની, તો આ સફરમાં ઘણા બધા બચ્ચા પડી જતા હતા ઊંટ ઉપરથી, જમીન ઉપર પડતા હતા. ને આ બીબી પોતાની હાથથી નાની નાની કબર બનાવતા હતા ને એ કબર ઉપર લખતા હતા, હાદા મોહસિને કરબલા. આ કરબલાનો મોહસિન છે. જો તમને ખુદા ઝિયારત નસીબ કરે ને તમે જઈ શકો આ સફર ઉપર, ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે અમે આ સફર ઉપર જાય કરબલાથી ગુફાથી શામ, તો તમે જોશો આ નાની નાની કબર છે જ્યાં બીબી લખતા છે હાદા મોહસિને કરબલા. એક રિવાયતમાં છે કે એક બીબી હામેલા હતી, ઇમામ હુસૈનના ઘરમાંથી હતી. તો એ સૈયદા ઝૈનબને કહે છે કે એટલું પેટ દુખે છે. હવે હું ને તમે જાણે છે કે જ્યારે કોઈ હામિલા અમને કહે કે પેટ દુખે છે તો રેસ્ટની જરૂર છે, તો બીવી આ ઝાલિમોને કહે છે કે આ થોડીક વાર એને બેસવા દે. ન બેસવા દીધા. આ જ્યારે બીબી, જ્યારે એનું બચ્ચું પરી જાય છે ત્યારે બીબી લખે છે આ કબર ઉપર, ને આ કબર હજી છે. એ લખે છે હાદા મોહસિન અલ હુસૈન. તો ઇન્શાલ્લાહ આપણે ખુદા પાસે દુઆ કરીએ કે આટલા બધા મોહસિન છે આજકાલ દુનિયામાં. આ જુમાના છે એના બે બચ્ચા અલીસા આયસા બે ટ્વિન્સ હતા. બાપ ગયો તો બર્થ સર્ટિફિકેટ લેવા, તમે જોયા હશો, પાછું આવે છે તો બચ્ચા નથી. તો જ્યારે અમે વિચાર કરીએ આ બચ્ચાઓની જે સૈયદા ઝૈનબ દફનાવ્યા, તો આપણે આ બચ્ચાનો વિચાર કરીએ, કારણ કે અમારા પાસે આ કરંટ વસ્તુ છે. અમે હાથ ઊંચા કરીને દુઆ કરીએ કે ખુદા આ લોકોને નજાત આપે આ જુલ્મનાથી. આપણે ખુદા પાસે દુઆ આપે કે આપણે તૌફીક આપે કે આપણે 13 વસ્તુ અશરુતુલ મુમિનીન અમારી જિંદગીમાં અપનાવે ને ઇન્શાલ્લાહ જન્નત નસીબ કરે. ખુદાએ જે છે એની હાજત તો કબૂલ કરે. ફતકબલ મિન્ના ઇન્નકા અંતસ સમીઉલ અલીમ.